Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Indian Hill Winter Club here in Indian Hill, Ohio. So Zambonis finishing up the ice. So Wild getting ready to take on the Athens Bobcats for the first time this season, believe it or not. We usually have a game or two against the Bobcats, but this season, this is going to be the first. And Zamboni finishes up their laps. Got Coach John Carper walking past the frame there, getting ready to get this team in gear and ready to go. We started this season here at the preseason tournament, seeding tournament, and we're going to end it here. This is a win or go home game, so we have to come out on top of this game in order to have a chance to play tomorrow. And it looks like that will either be the winner of this game. Well, if we were to win this game, it'd be between Wild and Troy or Indian Hill, depending on how those points end up shaking out. Likely would be Troy, but I haven't done all the math. So anyway, the Zamboni is doing its last and final cut out here. And the Wild lined up across ice. I don't know if you can see them or not in the distance there at the gate. They are geared up and ready to go. Bobcats on the other side. Bobcats played Indian Hill earlier today, and that was a 3-2 loss for the Bobcats. So this is also a must-win for them too. So one of these teams are going to be going home early. But every game in this tournament so far has been a one-goal game. And they've all been just good, solid games down to the wire. We'll see how this goes. Coach Wayne's chucking pucks out there on the ice. Coach Ryan, looks like Coach John's making his way up to the bench. Got to catch a game, got to watch Kingsley play some of her game after we left here earlier today. We were able to get over there and watch the last half of that game. And she scored as soon as we walked through the door. So that was awesome to see. And the Wild taking the ice now, as are the Bobcats. We'll get all nice and warmed up and get ready to get this game underway. And you can watch warm-ups, and I'm going to take a quick break and be right back. Okay, I'm back. Had to go fix the camera, and that's why I'm out of breath. While taking a knee and saying a prayer, as they all know that this potentially could be the last game with all of them in those wild jerseys. Hopefully not. And here we go. 14 minutes on the clock. Shaking things up. We got Gosling taking the face off with Holly and Call on the wings. And Athens sends it down on the wild end, almost picked off by the Bobcats. And Gosling takes off. Gosling skates in, sets up, and takes a shot. It gets blocked. Tries to clear. Holly holds it in. Bobcats come out with it. Oberlin takes it down. He's got Williams on the other side. Nobody's watching him. Shot comes in, goes wide, hits the boards. Oberlin and Williams, the top scorers in the entire BTHL. Out there on the same line. Gosling skates it in, knocked away. Oberlin sends it over to Williams. And here comes Williams. Williams winds up, takes a shot, gets deflected over the net. Kept in by the Bobcats. Bobcats send it in deeper where Higginbotham is tied up. And it's centered out by Williams, but nobody there. Bobcats send it on around behind the net. And Gibson out there battling a shoulder injury from earlier. And Leighton Walker picks it up behind her own goal. Cross ice over to Gibson. And Gibson tries to clear. It's kept in by the Bobcats. And that's going to be offside. It's not going to be offside. Back up by Walker again. He stops behind the net. He's waiting on Bobcats to make a move, and he passes it up to Ruth. Ruth over to Gosling, and here goes Gosling. Gosling puts on the brakes, sends it right through the center. Ruth and Gibson either could get a hold of that. Gibson has it now. Gibson takes a shot, and Gibson with a sore shoulder scores and puts the Wild on the board with 11:44 left in the first. Logan Gibson. This team is fired up. Williams has it, skates it in, gets it knocked away by the Wild, and Wynn sends a pass over to Gibson. Gibson bodies the Bobcat just as he enters the zone. Turned over. Circle sends it off the wall. It's picked up by Walker and up to Wynn. Oberlin sends it back in again. There goes Walker. Gets knocked off of his stick. Circle almost getting a hold of that. Circle able to keep it in, and then Wynn sends it over to Circle. Circle takes a shot, and it's saved by the Bobcats. Up to the point, shot put on, blocked. Carlisle in the play now. Carlisle carries it around behind the boards. Tries to send a pass up to Circle, goes wide, and Walker picks it up. Walker sends a shot on it, goes wide. Another shot put on by Fields on the other side. Goes wide, and it's going to go all the way around and out. Walker gets it and sends it back down. Picked off by Estep, but Bobcats able to poke that back out into neutral, and then it's sent back in. Bobcats trying to clear, and it does make its way out. Higginbotham picks it off, and he comes in. He weaves around a couple Bobcats and is sent to the wall. Sent out front, and that's Estep out there, and Estep and Circle out there taking some whacks at it. And play is stopped as the Bobcats cover it up. Man, they are fired up on that bench. That's Kang off the faceoff, spinning and taking a shot, and that's saved by the Bobcats. Up to Walker Woods, and Walker shoots. Save, no to rebound there, but Wynn and Taylor right there waiting for a rebound. Wynn taking the face off. Bobcats try to send it out. Wynn stops it at the wall. Sends it out into traffic. Shot. Save. Picked back up by Taylor. He centers it up for Wynn. He couldn't get a good stick on it. Taylor has it again, and Taylor gets sent to the wall. Woods on the other side. Woods sending it in, and that is gloved by the Bobcats. Bobcats off the faceoff, sending it around the glass. It's picked up by Oberlin. Oberlin looking for Williams on the other side, and then Oberlin gets himself open up front, and a big stop by Cash Blake. Goslick takes that loose puck and skates it back, pass it over to Woods, but they're saying offside. Oberlin has it again. Skates through. He gets closed in on. Puck knocked away. That Oberlin-Williams is quite a duo for the Bobcats. Gosling passes it up to Holly. Holly comes in, tries to make a move around the Bobcats, loses the puck. Bobcats send it back through neutral, where Walker sends it back off the glass. And Walker sends it across ice. He gets deflected. Fields is going to send it back out into neutral, where it's nearly picked off by Gosling as he takes a Bobcat down. And Walker collects it. Walker sends it up to Holly. Couldn't quite reach it. Gosling getting that puck. Thought he got it free there, but Williams picks it up. Tries to pass to Oberlin again. Picked off by Holly. Holly with the shot, it gets blocked. Tries to center it out there for call, and it is gloved by the Bobcats. And the net is knocked off. again. Gibson and Ruth out there with Walker and Fields in the back. Bobcats try to break it back out the other way. It's picked off by the Wild and sent in. Wynn picks it up off the wall. Wynn tries to send it over to Fields. Gets Bobcats get a stick on it. Gibson picks it up again, and Gibson's going to skate it in. Takes a ripper of a shot as he goes down. Goes wide. And Leighton Walker taking a shot, and that is gloved, bobbled, loose puck. And that's Walker picking it back up off the wall, sends it on around. Gibson picks it up in the corner. Up to the point, and a shot from Fields goes wide. Walker trying to send it in again, and Oberlin and Collins trying to take off with it. It's knocked back in, then sent back up, out, stopped at the red line, and Wynn tripped up. Puck is still loose. Ruth picking it up, and Ruth is going to send it all the way around to Gibson. Gibson tries to send it out. Bobcats send it back in. Weird deflection there in the slot. And Blake able to steer that away. But comes free. Gibson takes off. And Gibson gets it knocked away right as he gets close to the net. He step in. Bobcats take off with it. Skated all the way in, take a shot. Pad saved by Blake. Rebound shot, sent out front. Williams couldn't get a hold of it. Sent toward the net, blocked. Woods ends up with it, and Woods is going to skate that out and through neutral. And go all the way in. And he circles around behind the net, sends it up to Higginbotham. Higginbotham rips a shot, bobbled, rebound, and Carlisle taking a follow-up shot, and this goalie is making some pretty good saves for the Bobcats. He stepped to the slot. Bobcats send it off the wall, back into neutral zone, picked up by Higginbotham. Higgs tries to pass it up to Circle, bounces off his stick. Bobcats chipping it in. And back up to the point. Bobcats send a shot in, and that's going to be covered up by Blake. Woods comes out with it off the face-off, and he's going to skate it through neutral all the way in. Bobcats defend, knock that puck away. Carlisle out front, sends it out front, and to Woods, and that is ripped by Woods. It's deflected away, and now the Bobcats come back and win. Shoves the Bobcat into the board. Puck comes free. Bobcats pick it back up again. And it is knocked back into Wild territory. Higginbotham battles for it in the corner. Puck goes around behind the Wild net. Circle has it in the corner. Woods trying to reach in and grab it. Circle sends it on around behind. Hops over the stick of the Bobcat. And up to the point. It comes out. Carlisle circling around trying to pick his pocket, but it goes offside. That takes us to 3:38 remaining in the first. And Wild up by 1. A goal by Gibson. Oberlin dumps it in. Wild try to clear it back out. And Kang is driven to the wall. Walker picks it up, sends it on around behind the net to Taylor. Taylor on the other side. Tries to send it out. It's kept in by the Bobcats. And Bobcats with a shot. And that is, looked like Blake may have got a piece of that, or it went wide. Bobcats circle on behind the net, try to center it up. It's picked off by the Wild. That's Taylor. And he tries to work it all the way out. Bobcats able to keep it in. It's disrupted by Fields, and the puck comes free. And that is Vinny Kang. It's Vinny Kang versus 3 Bobcats taking a shot, and they're going to cover that up. Stop the clock at 2:48. Call digs it off the boards. It's a couple of Bobcats, but Call still has it. Bobcats try to clear. Fields over to Walker. Walker takes a shot, and that's gloved by the Bobcats. .231 remaining. Goslick back to Call. Call sends it in. Goslick sends it over to Holly in the slot. Picked up by Call. Can't get it settled down. Holly has it again. Holly back over to Goslick. Goslick coming in, winding up, taking a shot, and it's steered to the side. Holly picks it back up off the boards again. Chips it over to Leighton Walker, and Walker takes a shot, and that gets deflected, goes wide. Fields holds it in, tries to send it to the slot. Call fighting for it in the slot, and the Bobcats come out with it and skate it back down. Holly picks his pocket, makes a turn, and it is back to Call again. Call's going to settle it down, tries to send it up to Goslick. Goslick gets the puck back, and it's stolen by the Bobcats and sent back down into neutral, and that's going to be sent in. That's offside. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Kristen, Mav, see your comments there. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for the good wishes. Icing. A minute and 13. Face off, won by Athens. Tries to send it on net. It's deflected to the corner. Oberlin to Williams. And Blake coming up huge for the powerful Oberlin and Williams for the Bobcats with a nice pass and shot. Stops us at 102. The Win takes the face off. Athens wins, and not able to hold it in at the blue line. He sends it in offside. Athens wins the face-off and dump it in. Goes behind Wild net, picked up by Woods. And Woods skates out with it. He works his way, he tries to get around Oberlin. Oberlin picks it off, and we got Williams coming in now, tied up by Higginbotham and taken down. That may be a penalty shot. Yep, that's a penalty shot. As Blake fixes his pads and shakes that off. They are calling for a penalty shot. This is not good with Williams and Oberlin out there. Bobcats get a chance here with 34 seconds left on a penalty shot. As he was tripped up. They got in close. Williams, one of the leading goal scorers in the BTHL, gets a chance to tie the game. And here we go. Comes in kind of slow, makes some moves, and waits patiently. And that ties the game with 34 seconds left. Bobcats sending off the face-off. That's another shot by Oberlin. Goes wide, kept in by the Bobcats. Sent back in to the corner. And Call with a hit into the corner. And it's going to be knocked up and out. And it's a foot race. Holly and Gosling goes in. Bobcats try to clear. And they eventually do. That's sent all the way down. That's going to be icing, but 0.4 seconds left. They might as well let it run out. Looks like we're going to pull the goalie for this 0.4 second face-off with an attempt to try to snag a quick one here. Gosling pretty much just has to shoot right off the draw. Oh, they put more time back on. We got 1.2 now. Now we have a little bit of time. And not able to get a shot off there. That's one period down and 2 to go. We're tied at 1. The goals by Gibson, and then a penalty shot goal by Drew Williams from the Bobcats. So we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right. Back on the ice, switching sides. Again, Athens is the team we have not played this year at all, and we usually do in different divisions. But they are slightly, I'm talking a fraction of a point higher than us, MHR. So very, very close. And Fields sends that in offside. Back to Walker, back to Holly again. And Holly working his way in. Comes in close. Takes a shot at point blank. Rebound comes out. Fields with a follow-up shot. Does not get through traffic. Holly picks up that rebound again. Tries to shoot. He's tied up. And Bobcats are going to go away with it. Back into neutral. And it's picked off by Walker. And then Gosling gets it and backhands it all the way in to the wild zone. Holly picked it up behind the net again. Skates it around. Sends it up to Walker. Walker with a long shot at the blue line. Rebound pops out and then steered to the side by the Bobcats. And the Bobcats retrieve. Try to skate it out. Gets knocked away by the Wild in neutral ice. Call with it in neutral. Call skates it in. Call works his way around. Gets in close. Tries to center it up there. And it bounced out, and Holly tried to recenter it and went to the wall. Gosling comes in close, rings post. Woods has it, and he's going to skate in, take a shot, and saved and poked free. It's a loose puck, and it's knocked away behind the net. Fields takes another shot. It bounces. Goes to the corner. Holly up to Ruth. And then Fields tries to get a shot. It's blocked. Attempted check there on Holly's what that thump was, and he missed and went right into the wall. Pass across ice to Woods, and Woods scores and regains the lead with 11:52 on the clock. And Wild go back up 2-1 here in the second period. So these games in this tournament are scored by period. That's who wins each period. Point differential is who determines who goes to the championship. It's not your typical bracket play. It's done by a point system. So we tied the last period, and it's kind of a wash. Bobcats send around the boards. Gibson sends it up to Woods, and Woods rips another one. Rebound comes out. Bounce around the slot. Nobody could get a shot off. Bobcats recover and send it back into neutral. And Oberlin comes in, gets it knocked away by the Wild. Higginbotham. Bobcats trying to work it along the wall. Wynn sends it off the wall to Ruth. Bounce off his stick to Wynn, to Higginbotham. And Higgs sends it back into neutral where Gibson pressures, forces a pass. And then Bobcats pass picked off by Walker Woods. And he is driven to the wall. Still has the puck. And Bobcats are able to get it back. Williams takes off Wynn, takes him down. And that's going to be a penalty on Wynn. That's a hold. Not a penalty shot this time. So Wynn, who rarely sees the box, is going to serve some time for holding. And I'm going to say with the skill of Williams, that might be a good penalty to take. Call with a couple hits down there, and puck gets knocked free. Higginbotham takes off, and Higgs skates it all the way in, takes a shot, goes wide of the net. The Wild stays back as we're on the penalty kill. Bobcats send it all the way down, picked up by Holly, and Holly sends it across ice over to Higginbotham. Can't get a hold of it. Oberlin gets it back, and Oberlin comes around and finds Stotts. Takes a shot, rebound, another shot, saved. And Higginbotham has it behind the net again. He's trying to get it up the wall. Williams comes out with it, sends it into the slot. Oberlin sets up and loses the puck. And Leighton Walker takes off. Leighton makes it all the way through, gets up close, and then gets knocked away just as he gets into close point-blank shooting range, and it's sent all the way back down, and that's icing on the Bobcats. 9:22 left in the second. Gosling taking the face off. He's got Woods and Walker on defense. Gibson on the other side. So we're trying to kill off this penalty here for another 5 seconds, and we'll be back to full strength. Cross ice to Walker. Walker trying to set up a pass. Gets it poked off his stick and then sends it up the boards. And then the Bobcats send it right back in. This time Woods picks it up. We're full strength. And Woods tries to drive it in. Gets knocked away in neutral. Gosling to Woods. And we're getting called for we are getting called for a penalty. Walker Woods going to the box. What did they call on that? So Wild have another penalty to kill. 8:41. I didn't see what the call was on Woods, but both of them went down. I don't really know how he ended up with the penalty on it, but it is what it is, and the Wild clear it back down. Bobcats pick it back up on their own end. Send it back down. It's a high stick, but we got possession. Gosling stops behind the net. Makes a couple reverse moves. Gosling killing time behind her own goal. Trying to kill this penalty off. And he tries to find Gibson on the far side. Gibson, it was in front of him, and that's going to cause an icing. And that stops us at 8:02. Call taking the face off. Holly tries to chip it out. It gets held in by the Bobcats. Bobcats having plenty of time to shoot. Doesn't get through traffic, but it is picked up by Oberlin. And he is going to put one on the board for the Bobcats. We're tied at 2 now. Woods with a big hit on Oberlin. And Wild ties up a Bobcat, getting at close range there, and they both go down with no penalty called. Gibson takes off with it. Gibson works his way around a Bobcat, centers it up, and couldn't get a stick on it. And the Bobcats break it out. Oberlin coming in, and he gets in close, makes a couple shots, and got a stoppage in play as our officials discuss what's going to happen here. It looks like Higginbotham going to the box after all of that. Tied at 2, 7-13. Wild have to kill another penalty. All right, so we're going 5-on-5 here. We got roughing. And I'm not sure what they called on Higginbotham, but I heard white roughing. So we're going 5-on-5, no penalty to kill. Uh-oh. Thought we were going to get a delay of game there for a second. Holly taking the face off. Bobcats win it. Send it on net. Save, and a rebound comes out. And a rebound shot was missed by the Bobcats. And Call trying to work his way through. It bounces back out. And Woods picks it back up and steers it back in. As he tries to get through some Bobcats, he passes it up into the crease. And Call and Holly there couldn't get a hold of it. And Bobcats pass it back out. Holly picks that up, skates it across the red line. And held in by the Wild, and then poked back out by the Bobcats. Sent down, picked up by Woods. Woods sends it around behind the net. Sent into a cluster of Wild, and it's knocked free, and Bobcats end up with it. Send it to Blake.
Your only chance is upstairs, but she's big. I mean, you got him up quick. She read the pass. She moved.
Knotted up at 2 with 6:09 left in the second period.
So, I mean, it's just a good play.
And back to Walker. And trying to get it out. Knocks it free. Gibson sends it up to Wynn. And Wynn skates it through neutral. Wynn sends it into the slot for Gibson. Can't get a hold of it. He's tied up. Walker gets it. Walker sends it across ice over to Woods. And Woods trying to get a shot. He gets it knocked away, regains possession. Passes it to Gibson. Goes off his stick and into the corner. And the Bobcats take it back out where Wynn picks it off and Wynn skates it in. Bobcats poke it right back out into neutral. And Bobcats trying to get out, and he's met by Woods, who knocks him down and gets the puck back. Gibson over to Walker. And then the Bobcats send it back across neutral again to the other side. And they dump it all the way down. And it hits the glass and bounces out. Wild. Bobcats sent a shot on, hits post. Wild able to clear that back out into neutral. Got 4:45 left. Bobcats send it in. It's icing. We'll go back down to Bobcat territory with 4:43 on the clock. Face-off goes to the Bobcats. They drive it out. Fields stops it. Sent back in. Bobcats get it back. Got to pass it up to Oberlin. And he can't get a hold of it, and it's sent back into neutral by Higginbotham. And Oberlin takes off with it again, makes a move, takes a shot. Saved by Blake. Sent around behind the boards. Shot put on from the point. And that goes wide, bounces off the wall, and Wild trying to clear it back out. And Call takes off. Call comes in, takes a shot, save, bounces out, and Bobcats get it back. Takes a shot, and that's saved by Blake. He's going to cover it up. .337 left in the second period. Michael Circle joining in. Sue Ruth. Garbo. Brenda. Garbo again. That's Shakes Memo and Papaw. Step, sending it up the wall to Circle. Circle sends it forward to Carlisle. Carlisle coming in. He gets it taken away as he enters the zone. And he step put on the wall. The other side. Circle battling for it. Bobcats trying to get it off that wall. Break in. They send it to center. It's picked off by Fields. And Fields skates it out. Fields comes down with Carlisle on the other side, and Fields sends it across, and the Bobcats goalie going to cover that up. .303 left, still tied at 2. Woods rips a shot that goes wide. Higginbotham stops it at the blue line, sends it in. Deflects, Woods gets it again, sends it, hits the glass, back up to Higginbotham. Higginbotham sends it to Holly, it hops over his stick and goes on around. Call sends it out front. Couldn't get a hold of that one. And Oberlin looking for Williams on the other side. Oberlin again, takes a shot, misses the net. Call digging it off the wall. Passes it to Holly. Holly stops it for Woods, and Woods takes off. Goslick stops at the blue line. Woods comes in. Woods circling around. He's looking for somebody. Takes a shot. Save. Goes to the corner. Cole with the shot, and that is gloved. Quick glove by the Bobcats. Two minutes exactly left. Holly takes the face off. Bobcats win it, send it around behind the net. Higginbotham stops it at the blue line, sends it back. Back in. Shot! That's a pass to Call, and that is a wild goal. Ben Call with a great pass. I didn't see. I think that was Gosling. Did Gosling fit him that pass? Yes. And great play there by the Wild to regain the lead late in the second period. Back to Woods. Higginbotham sends it up to Ruth. Ruth to Win. Win over to Gibson. Gibson tries to take a shot. He's tied up. And Woods trying to hold that in. Win with a hustle there on the boards, keeping that in. And the Bobcats are able to get it back and send it up to Oberlin, who is cherry picking at the blue line, but tied up by Higginbotham. And Ruth sends it up, and that went out, I believe. Win with a hit on the boards. Win and battling with the Bobcat. Bobcats trying to center it out front, and Gibson ends up with it, and Gibson passes it up, and it goes out. And it's kicked back in. Here comes Woods. Here comes Woods with a chance. And Woods digs it out of the slot right in front of the crease, and that puts the Wild on top by 2 with 55 seconds left with a hustle. A hustle from the big man, Walker Woods. And first time that I can think of, there's been a 2-goal lead. And I can hear the sounds of frustration with the banging of a door. Sent down, covered up by the Bobcats. 47 seconds left. E-step trying to work that back off the face-off. And Bobcats trying to break it out. They get it back into neutral, and Bobcats regain possession, and it goes in offside. That's 30 seconds left in the second period. We have to have a win to play tomorrow, and it may have to be by a few goals, depending on how the points worked out. And I don't have those in front of me. Back out into neutral, pass over the other side. Kane comes in, deflects off his stick, and it's back to Fields. Bobcats break that free. E-step has it, and Bobcats try to move it in. That's the buzzer. That ends the second period. So one more break, and we'll be back to conclude this game. And we're back. Season quickly winding down. Some of these boys wearing their Wild jerseys for the last game or two. And then we got a couple more games scheduled in March, March 14th, where we'll have, that will be the last game for the Wild and some of these 14-year-olds. We'll be missing the 3 players in that game. Oberlin takes a shot, and he scores. Early in the third. Bobcats back within 1 now. To the corner, Woods sends it all the way down. It's going to be icing. Sent around behind the goal, picked up a Higginbotham. Sends it up the wall. Bobcats send it back in. Oberlin took toward the net. They were trying to find him in that slot. Gets knocked back out. Gosling has it now. And Gosling over to Holly. Holly back to Gosling, who tries to stuff it in. And yeah, she kicked the net off. And great play there by those two. Good chance. .12:49 on the clock. Holly wins it. Back to call to Higginbotham. Higginbotham rips a shot at, hits a pad. And Woods is going to send that back up to Call. Call sends it back across ice to Higginbotham. Higginbotham rips another shot, and that rebound does the same thing over to the wall. Call to Woods. Woods tries to backhand it over to Higginbotham, and the Bobcats take off with it. Woods gets it right back, and Woods has it, and they're saying that's offside. I missed somebody there. Wynn taking the face off. He's got Ruth Gibson out there with him. Leighton Walker and Preston Fields in the back. Bobcats skated in. Wynn takes the Bobcat all the way to the wall. Gets the puck. It's a battle at the feet. Knocked back out. Gibson trying to work that out. He does work it out into neutral. Bobcats send it back in. Walker sends it to Ruth. Ruth tries to hit it up to Wynn. And it's back in neutral again. Bobcats send it back in again. Fields turns it, sends it up. Bobcats holding it at the blue line. Gibson pressures. Wynn knocks it up to Gibson. Here's a chance for Gibson as he's got to work his way. And comes in close. Gibson with a shot at point blank. And they blew the whistle with a loose puck. I didn't think they had a rebound, but it saw it pop out, and then they blew the whistle. So Gibson with a great chance there. Gibson has it. He tries to work his way Oberlin knocks it back into neutral, and Williams takes off with it. And Williams comes in close and makes a move and gets it past Blake. 11:05 on the clock.
And then we were being forced to pinch each other. And if we tried to escape, then we would just slip us that I don't know, man. That actually would not be funny at all.
I may be wrong, but it looks to me like this is all Oberlin, Williams, and the goalie for this team. Off the wall up the circle. Oberlin trying to get free again. Knocked away by Estep. Estep skates it out. And he makes a move around a Bobcat. Carlisle trying to find circle. Right into the slot. Estep picks it back up in the corner, and Oberlin, he's already looking for Williams. He chips it in. Williams is wide open on the other side, and he tried to get a pass to him, but is knocked away and kicked back out into neutral. Williams comes in again, sends it to Oberlin. And Athens takes the lead for the first time in the game. Yeah. 10 minutes, 11 seconds left. Athens takes the lead. Higginbotham sends it to Call up to Holly. Holly cross ice. He's got Woods and Goslick over there. Goslick has it. Goslick sends it back to Woods. Woods trying to settle it down in front of the net. It goes back to Higginbotham. Higginbotham takes a shot. It hits Ben Call. And Bobcats pick it back up and skate it back out. Take a shot. Hits the wall behind the net. Goslick up to Call. Call skates it out. Call comes in with Holly on the other side. Call over to Holly. He can't get the shot off. Good look. And it's knocked back out to neutral. And Higginbotham sends it back in. Call gets to the corner. It's knocked free, and Woods gets a stick on it, but it's picked up by the Bobcats, and Goslick makes a smart move there. He almost hits it with a high stick and waits on it to fall. Call trying to settle it down. Sends it up to Woods. Woods out to Goslick. Knocked off his stick, picked up by Woods again. Woods sends it up to Call, who sends a shot, and the goalie gets a pad on it. Sends it to the corner. Back up to Higginbotham. He sends it in. It's up front. Goslick trying to deflect it in. And it goes back up again. And Call goes around his stick and back to the other end. Holly has it now. Holly goes from one end to the other. Comes in. Takes a shot and just goes wide. And it's sent around the boards. Call picks it up again. Call up to Higginbotham. Higginbotham to Holly. Holly back to Higginbotham. Back to Holly again. Takes a shot, hits the pad, goes to the corner. Walker stops at the point, sends it back in. Goslick. Goslick takes a shot, and that's gloved. 7:39.
And they're not even attached to skate. Those are
Oberlin coming in. Stops. Sends it up to the point. Flipped in. Goes behind the net. Sent back out front. And a shot coming in from the blue line. Goes wide. And a shot from the side. Blake stops that. With 7:13 left. Sent around the boards. Or Gibson has it. And he takes off. Gibson sends it across ice, trying to hit it to Ruth. He was tied up, sent back in. Bobcats get it, skate it back, and it somehow gets deflected out of play.
This camera just flying on us.
Circle takes a shot, it gets blocked. Bobcats cleared out. And Williams sends it right on top of the crease. Bobcats can't get a hold of it, and the Wild will get called for tripping. .6:28 left. Wild have another penalty to kill as E-Step goes to the box for a trip call. Shot coming in. Goes wide. Bobcats working on the board, send it back around. Tries to center it. Wynn gets it. And Wynn sends it up and out. There's a penalty coming on the Bobcats, and hopefully we won't get a retaliation there on Circle. So it looked like they're calling a rough on. Yeah, they're. So 39 seconds left on the E-Step tripping penalty, and now the Bobcats go to the box.
I never play that.
Which I believe maybe the first power play. Facing off deep into Bobcats territory. 4-on-4 for 38 seconds, and then that's another one.
It was 54. I think so, yeah. Now?
That was a boarding.
It was 70. I think it was a boarding. Nice one, bro. William. I know. Nice one, bro.
That's a boarding call, so That's going to put Williams out. The tournament rules state no protesting, so I don't know what we're doing over here.
It's a 4-on-2? 4-on-3.
Williams, that puts the Wild up a man, and that's going to put Williams out for the remainder of the game. Gosling battling on the board, sends it across ice to Woods. Woods back to Gosling, goes off his stick and to the corner. And the Bobcats retrieve it off the wall.
Athens is built different.
And we got 5 seconds left on that first penalty, and then we'll have a 2-man advantage without the help of Drew Williams.
That's what I did. That's what I did. I did. When he got scored on, he crashed out.
Oberlin trying to clear. It's kept in by the Wild. Oberlin still digging for it. Can't let him get free. And Holly takes it away before Oberlin can get away with it. Back into neutral. And we have a 5-on-3 advantage now. And it's sent back down on the Wild territory. It's going to be icing. So even better, we get to face off in Bobcats territory with a 2-man advantage. 4:34 on the clock. We've got to get this game tied up. And then we've got to get a go-ahead goal. We're running out of time. Woods taking the face-off. Woods over to Holly. Holly sends it back to Gosling. Gosling over to Call. Call tries to find Holly, and it's picked off by the Bobcats, but retrieved by Gosling again. And Gosling moves in, sends it through center. Holly picks it up, sends it to Wynn. Wynn can't get a shot off. And Woods and Oberlin is able to clear that out. Bouncing puck into neutral, and the Bobcats get their men back. And it's sent out front, and it's a scramble, and we gotta go. We gotta go. I don't know who got it, but it looks like that's another Woods goal, tying the score up with 3:57 on the clock. .57. Tie game. We really need the win in order to advance. Gosling driving it down into Bobcats territory. Bobcats try to get it back, and Holly takes off with it, takes a shot, saved. And the Bobcats pick up that rebound.
We can't shoot at the pads. What are we doing?
And the Bobcats skated out. Knocked away by Holly at neutral. And Bobcats get it back and send it across ice into the corner. Higginbotham picks it up, sends it up the wall. And Call comes out with it. Call stops, tries to find Holly, gets knocked away by the Bobcats, and the Bobcats are able to pick it back up, and it gets knocked away and picked up back up by Gosling. Gosling finds Call. Call. And Call is taken down. What in the world? Pass chip to the net, and Blake is going to grab that and stop play at 2:42. The real big player from Athens, I believe Call and him collided out there. I caught that out of the corner of my eye. Puck sent over the net. And Gibson comes out, and Gibson works his way around one Bobcat, gets poked away in neutral. Ruth getting it back to Gibson, and Gibson gets it up to Wynn. Wynn comes in and scores! Talon Wynn! With effort there from Gibson and Ruth getting that puck in the zone, finding Talon Wynn, and folks, the Wild are on top with only 2:18 remaining. And the ref is already blowing the whistle saying, let's go, stop celebrating. As we're running behind. Back to Woods, over to Walker. Walker sends it up to Gibson. Gibson to Ruth, that goes off his stick. And all we need to do, we really need another goal to get the differential, but we may be okay if we were to pull off a win here. Gibson collides with a Bobcat and gets right back up, gets the puck back, collides with another, the big boy Bobcat. He goes down. And Walker Woods sends it down. That's going to be icing with 1:35 left. Minute and 35. Back to Gosling. Gosling sends a heart around the boards, and Moreland able to hold that in for the Bobcats. Pops out the call to Holly, and Holly takes off, and he's going to get smothered by Bobcats, but works his way around, takes a shot, it goes wide. Higginbotham sends it back in, deflected. Call picks it up. Call takes a shot, save. Holly has it behind the net, and it gets knocked back out into the corner. And Holly battling for it, and it gets knocked free. It's under the feet of Call, and Gosling helps him back with it. Call comes in, Call's tripped up. That's 50 seconds left. Back up to Woods. Woods takes a shot. Goalie gets a piece of it. Over to Holly. Holly to Gosling. Gosling takes a shot, and that goes out of play, as does somebody's stick. 38 seconds left. Wild pounding their sticks on the boards. 38 seconds left. See lots more comments here from Michael Circle Garbo. Nancy says that's a hat trick for Woods. Sorry about that. I lost track of the goals, but Oberlin takes off with it. And he gets it poked away in neutral. Backhands it in. Higginbotham, 25 seconds left. And Higginbotham sends it down. That's going to be icing. We did not need an icing with 18 seconds left in a one-goal game, but that's what we got. And of course, An empty net on the other side of the ice. Holly taking the face off. Holly sends it around. Whoa. I think he tried to pass around behind the net. Did that go on net, or was he trying to? That was close. Athens with the shot on. Gets deflected wide. Woods sends it all the way down. That's another icing with 4 seconds left. 4.6 seconds left. Another icing the Wild will have to deal with in our own zone. Holly taking the final draw. And Bobcats calling timeout. 4.6 seconds left. We got an empty net and a timeout.
I got scored on in this situation. Wait, you actually did? Yeah. South Bend? I wasn't there half time. South Bend, against South Bend, state tournament.
33 tuned in right now on YouTube. And the chat is going as wild as the game is. Somebody commented that was a hat trick for Walker Woods. It's probably right. I lost count in the excitement here. 4.6 seconds left. Face off, Wild territory, empty net on the other end. Here we go. Athens trying to at least secure a tie here. And Holly takes the draw, and we got Wild players blocking. It goes behind the net, and that's going to do it. And the big boy from Athens taking a shot at Gosling, and ref having to step in on that one. So there's our final score, 6-5, another one-goal game in the tournament. Not 100% sure, but I believe that puts us in the game tomorrow against Troy. So just watch for that. Watch for notifications on Facebook, and watch for the game to be scheduled on YouTube, Crossbar, however you get your notifications. And they'll let the team gather down for a picture. See him off to the side. And Zamboni comes on strong, wanting to go ahead and get that ice clean so they can get another game started. So we got some teams lined up here ready to go again. So that game will be at 2 o'clock tomorrow if we are in it, and I think there's a pretty good chance that we are. So again, watch for watch for the notifications. I'm laughing as the players are falling going out the door. Watch for the notifications on that, and we'll see you then if that game is a go. So thanks for tuning in and joining, and we'll be back hopefully tomorrow.